The explosion ripped through the cobble market like a thunderclap from hell, hurling Lieutenant Alex Harper face-first into the dust. Shrapnel whined past his ears, and his helmet skittered across the cracked pavement, landing with a hollow clank amid shattered stalls of spices and knockoff watches. As the smoke cleared and his squad's shouts pierced the ringing in his head, Alex lunged for the gear, only to freeze when a folded scrap of paper fluttered out, taped crudely to the inner padding. A child's drawing, vibrant crayons slashing across the page in defiant colors. He snatched it up, heart pounding not from the blast, but from the image, a stick-figure soldier in green fatigues, holding a tiny hand, both under a rainbow arched like a fragile bridge over flames. Below it, in wobbly English letters that screamed innocence amid atrocity, for the hero who listens. Love, A. Alex's knees buckled. A wasn't just a letter. It was Amir, the boy he'd failed, the ghost he'd buried under sand and regrets 6 months back, whose final whisper had been a plea for stories Alex could never tell. Not to the kid, not to anyone in this godforsaken unit where love like his was a court-martial waiting to happen. Alex crumpled the paper into his fist, the edges biting his palm like accusations. How the hell had it gotten there? His mind reeled back to that sweltering afternoon patrol, the one that had started like any other. Boots grinding gravel, M4 slung low, eyes scanning rooftops for the glint of an AK. That's when he'd first spotted the kid, Amir, all of 9 years old, wide-eyed and feral, darting from an alley with a soccer ball made of rags. The boy had kicked it straight at Alex's feet, a challenge wrapped in a grin that split his dirt-streaked face. "Play, American," he'd called in broken Pashto English, the words tumbling out bold as brass. Alex had hesitated, glancing at Sergeant Jordan Reyes, his second-in-command, and the one man in this platoon who made his pulse stutter for reasons beyond survival. Jordan's dark eyes met his, a flicker of amusement cutting through the tension. "Your call, LT," Jordan had muttered, voice low under the Kevlar. Alex could have waved the kid off. Protocol screamed it. Keep distance, no attachments in a war zone where kids turned into spotters overnight. But something in Amir's stare hooked him, a mirror to his own hidden fractures. He kicked the ball back, light, and just like that, the market's edge became their pitch. Word count so far, 428. They played for 10 minutes, Amir's laughter slicing the heavy air like a rare cool breeze. The boy was quick, dodging imaginary defenders with spins that left Alex chuckling despite himself. Jordan hung back at first, rifle at port arms, but soon he was in on it, feinting left to let Amir score a goal against a pile of crates. "Kids got moves," Jordan said later, wiping sweat from his brow as they wrapped up. Alex nodded, stealing a glance at the sergeant's profile, the strong jaw shadowed by stubble, the way his uniform clung in the heat. It was moments like these that blurred the lines Alex had drawn in steel around his heart. Friend, superior, temptation. Amir didn't vanish after that game. He started showing up at patrol's end, lurking near the forward operating base's barbed wire with pockets stuffed with sketches, rough maps of the city he'd drawn for the brave soldiers. Alex would trade him granola bars for them, careful not to let the others see the softness creeping in. "What's this one?" he'd ask, unfolding a paper showing stick people fleeing bombs. Amir would shrug, eyes darting. "Dreams. Bad ones." But then he'd grin, pulling out another. 2 figures side by side, one with a flag Alex recognized too well, the rainbow, smudged but unmistakable. "For you," the boy said once, pressing it into Alex's hand when Jordan was out of sight. Because heroes are colors, not just green. Alex's stomach had twisted then, a cold spike of fear. How did a kid in the Hindu Kush know about rainbows like that? Amir just tapped his temple. "I see. Like you see me." It was the start of their secret language, whispers during handoffs, stories Alex spun about faraway places where boys like us could run free. He never said the words gay or different, but Amir filled the gaps, his small world cracked open by war, but lit by an intuition that humbled Alex. The lieutenant, who joined the army at 18 to outrun his small-town Texas demons, parents who prayed harder when he came out, a high school boyfriend who ghosted after one kiss, found in Amir a reflection unscarred by shame. Nights in the hooch, Alex would pore over those drawings by headlamp, the platoon snoring around him. Jordan noticed, of course. "You got a fan club, LT?" He'd tease over MRE coffee, his boot nudging Alex's under the table, a casual accident that lingered too long. Alex would play it off, folding the papers away, but the heat in Jordan's gaze lingered like smoke. They'd served together 3 tours now, from Fallujah's rubble to this endless grind, bonded by near misses and unspoken codes. Jordan was straight, or so the rumors went, with tales of bar hookups in Kuwait. But Alex caught the pauses, the way Jordan's laugh softened when it was just them on watch, stars pricking the black sky over the Hindu Kush. One evening, as the call to prayer echoed faint from minarets, Amir slipped through the wire with a bundle wrapped in cloth. "For both," he said, handing it to Alex while eyeing Jordan with shy awe. Inside, 2 drawings, one of a soldier shielding a boy from rain, crayon clouds bursting blue, the other of 2 soldiers back-to-back against shadows, hands linked in the margin. "Brothers," Amir declared, but his eyes sparkled with secrets. Alex thanked him, ruffling the kid's hair, while Jordan crouched down. "Your trouble, little man. Keep drawing. It'll get you farther than bullets." That night, the Taliban hit hard, an ambush on the supply convoy rolling in at dusk. Alex's platoon was first responders, Humvees screaming through choke points, rotors thumping overhead. Chaos erupted near the market, RPGs cracking the air, civilians scattering like leaves. Alex's team pushed forward, Jordan at his flank, their V-shaped formation cutting through the fray. "Contact left," Jordan bellowed, laying down suppressing fire as Alex flanked right, pulse hammering. They found Amir in the epicenter, curled behind an overturned cart, shrapnel grazing his leg. The boy's face was ashen, but he clutched his soccer rag ball like a talisman. "Hero," he gasped as Alex scooped him up, Jordan covering their retreat. Medevac was inbound, but the insurgents pressed, bullets pinging off the Humvee's armor. In the frenzy, Alex didn't see the sniper's nest until it was too late. A burst from a rooftop, stitching the air. Jordan shoved him down, taking the graze to his shoulder, but Amir. The kid jerked in Alex's arms, a red bloom unfurling on his chest. The medevac bird touched down in a whirlwind of dust and urgency, rotors whipping the air into a frenzy that matched the storm in Alex's chest. He handed Amir over to the docks, the boy's small hand going limp in his, eyes locking on Alex's with a plea that sliced deeper than any blade. "Promise." "Stories." Alex nodded, throat closing, as they strapped the kid in and lifted off. Jordan clapped his good shoulder, hard, grounding. "He'll pull through, LT tough as you." But Alex saw the blood on Jordan's sleeve, the way his jaw clenched against the pain he waved off. They rode back in silence, the Humvee's growl underscoring the lie they both swallowed. Amir didn't pull through. Pneumothorax, the report said, lungs collapsed like a house of cards under the shrapnel's weight. Alex got the call at 0400, sprawled on his cot in the dim hooch, the platoon still snoring off the adrenaline crash. He dressed in the dark, boots lacing with mechanical precision, and slipped out to the wire. Dawn painted the mountains pink, indifferent to the hole ripping open inside him. He'd failed the kid, not just in the ambush, but in every guarded truth he'd withheld. Amir had seen him, all of him, and Alex had armored up anyway. Word spread quiet through the base. The LT's little shadow was gone. Platoon mates clapped his back at chow, gruff condolences masking their unease. "War's a bitch," Corporal Ellis grunted, the unit's loudmouth conservative who quoted Bible verses between cigs. "Kid was collateral. Shake it off." Alex nodded, forcing a grin, but his eyes sought Jordan across the mess tent. The sergeant was bandaged, poking at his scrambled eggs, his usual swagger muted. When their gazes met, Jordan held it. A beat too long, loaded with the weight of what they'd lost, and maybe more. Patrols blurred after that, days bleeding into dust-choked routines. Alex threw himself into them, mapping routes with a vengeance, as if precision could stitch the frayed edges of his guilt. Jordan matched him step for step, his wound healing to a pink scar that he scratched absent-mindedly during briefings. "You're pushing too hard," Jordan said one night on Overwatch. The two of them perched on a rooftop overlooking the wadi. NVGs flipped up against the moonless sky. Stars wheeled overhead, cold and vast. Alex shrugged, rifle balanced on his knee. Better than thinking. Jordan shifted closer, the gravel crunching soft. About the kid? Or us? The words hung, a grenade pin pulled. Alex's breath caught. Us? They'd danced this edge before. A shared flask in the sandbox, shoulders brushing in tight quarters, the electric hum of proximity in foxholes. But us was a minefield, especially here, where don't ask, don't tell's ghost lingered despite the repeal, and bigots like Ellis whispered slurs over poker hands. Alex wanted to lean in, taste the whiskey on Jordan's breath, confess how Amir's rainbows had cracked his closet door wide. Instead, he deflected. Amir saw things, man. Things we bury. Jordan's hand found his forearm, grip firm in the dark. He saw heroes. That's on you, for the good parts. Silence stretched, broken only by distant coyotes. Then Jordan pulled back, clearing his throat. Get some rack time, LT. We rotate stateside in 2 months. Texas waiting. Alex forced a laugh. Yeah, Mom's brisket and Dad's silent treatment. Jordan's chuckle was warm, but his eyes held questions Alex wasn't ready to answer. Back home loomed like a specter. Austin, where Alex had grown up dodging footballs and furtive glances at the quarterback in the locker room. College at UT had been a revelation. First Pride March, first real kiss under the tower's shadow, but the Army yanked him back into shadows, promising purpose if he played straight. His family knew, sort of. Mom sent care packages with rainbow socks, by accident. Dad sent news clippings of family values rallies. No calls, no visits. Just distance, vast as the desert. A week later, the platoon drew fire on a village sweep, insurgents melting into compounds, locals caught in crossfire. Alex's team cleared house to house, Jordan kicking doors while Alex covered stairs. In a mud brick room, they found a cache, AKs, IED components, and amid the debris, a stack of children's papers. Homework, really, but one caught Alex's eye. A drawing, similar to Amir's, soldiers and rainbows, taped to a wall like a talisman. What the? Jordan muttered, holstering his sidearm. Alex peeled it free, pulse spiking. Signed at the bottom, A's gift to friends. They bagged the intel and exfilled, but the paper burned in Alex's pocket. That night, in the comm shack, he cornered the intel officer. Any chatter on a kid named A? Drawings as signals. The captain shook his head. Kids draw, LT Taliban uses M for sympathy ops. Don't read tea leaves. But Alex couldn't shake it. He showed Jordan later, in the empty gym, weights clanging echoes. Amir left these? For us. Jordan studied it, brow furrowing. Maybe he wanted you to remember you're not alone in the colors. His voice dropped, intimate. None of us are. The moment stretched, charged. Alex stepped closer, the air thick with sweat and unspoken need. Jordan didn't pull away. Their hands brushed, fingers lacing tentative, a spark jumping the gap. Jordan, Alex started, but a door banged open down the hall. Ellis and his crew, rowdy from Liberty. They sprang apart, hearts racing, the almost kiss a ghost between them. Close call, Jordan whispered, but his smile was rueful, eyes promising more when the stars aligned. Rotations ticked down like a bomb's timer. Each patrol a gauntlet testing Alex's fraying resolve. The drawing from the village haunted him, tucked in his journal beside Amir's first sketch, a soccer field under fireworks. He'd stare at them during downtime, tracing the lines, wondering if the kid's intuition had been a warning or a wish. Jordan became his anchor, their conversations deepening in stolen slivers. Post-mission debriefs turning to dreams deferred, Jordan admitting his own cracks, a fiancé back in San Diego who'd bailed when the tours stacked up, leaving him questioning the straight-arrow life he'd scripted. You're more than the uniform, Reyes, Alex said one dusk as they jogged the base perimeter, dust devils swirling at their heels. Jordan shot him a sidelong glance, sweat gleaming on his neck. Says the officer who quotes Whitman in Foxholes. I sing the body electric, huh? That's you, LT. Charged up, keeping us lit. Alex flushed, the reference hitting home. He'd scribbled those lines in his helmet liner years back, a talisman against the isolation. Jordan knowing that. It unraveled him, thread by thread. But the unit's undercurrents churned darker. Ellis started needling, his barbs sharpening after a close call where Alex pulled him from a collapsing wall. Oh, you won, sir. Ellis drawled at poker, but his eyes flicked to Jordan. You two are thick as thieves. Brothers before. Whatever. Laughter rippled, uneasy, from the others. Veterans who'd lost too much to care, but old prejudices died hard. Alex shut it down with a glare, but the seed lodged, festering. Then came the supply run gone sideways. Convoys were routine, but this one hit a choke point near Amir's market. Roadside bomb flipping the lead truck, flames licking the sky. Alex's Humvee slewed to a halt, platoon dismounting into the kill zone. Bounding Overwatch, he barked, Jordan echoing from the flank. They leapfrogged forward, suppressing fire chewing dirt, until they reached the wreck, driver pinned, screaming, insurgents vectoring in from the ridgeline. Jordan was first in, prying rebar with a crowbar, muscles straining under his tack vest. Alex covered him, rounds snapping close, one grazing his vest like a wasp sting. Got him, Jordan yelled, hauling the man free just as a secondary cooked off. Flash and roar, shrapnel peppering the air. Alex dove, tackling Jordan down, their bodies slamming together in the ditch, hearts thundering in sync. The driver scrambled to safety, but as the dust settled, Jordan's face was inches from Alex's, breath ragged, eyes wide with the raw edge of survival. You saved my ass, Jordan murmured, not moving, his hand splayed on Alex's chest, feeling the heartbeat, the heat. Time warped, the battle's din faded to a hum. Alex's resolve cracked. Couldn't lose you, he whispered, the truth slipping free like a held breath. Jordan's gaze darkened, thumb brushing Alex's collarbone, a touch electric, inevitable. Their lips met, fierce and desperate, the world narrowing to salt and stubble, a kiss born of fire and fear. It lasted seconds, eternal. Then rotors thumped, QRF inbound, and they broke apart, scrambling up, faces flushed under the grime. No words, just a nod, the pact sealed in silence. Back at base, debriefs dragged, med checks confirming bruises, but no breaks. Ellis cornered Alex in the latrine later, smirk oily. Saw you and Reyes in the ditch, LT real heroic. Or something else. Alex's blood iced. Watch your mouth, Corporal. Focus on the mission. But doubt crept in. Had eyes been on them? Whispers started, subtle. Sidelong looks at Chow, poker hands folding early when Jordan sat too close. Alex confronted Jordan that night in the motor pool, tools clanging as mechanics worked. Ellis is sniffing. We gotta cool it. Jordan leaned against the Humvee, arms crossed, scar pulling tight. Cool what? One kiss in the dirt. His tone was light, but hurt flickered. Or everything before. The looks, the talks? I'm not hiding, Alex. Not from this. Alex paced, helmet dangling from his hand, the same one from the market blast, padding worn soft. You don't get it. I'm the LT. One rumor, and it's my career, our platoon, down the drain. Amir saw me. I can't fail you too. Jordan stepped in, voice low steel. Amir saw truth. That's why he drew those damn rainbows. For guys like us, holding on. He cupped Alex's jaw, thumb tracing his lip, gentle, insistent. I'm by, Alex. Always was. Fiancé knew. That's why she left. But you? You're the first who makes the fight worth it. The confession hung, a bridge over the abyss. Alex surged forward, kissing him again, slower, deeper, hands fisting Jordan's shirt. They broke for air, foreheads pressed. Then we fight smart, Alex said. Till stateside. The whispers metastasized like a slow fuse, coiling through the platoon with the inexorability of a sandstorm. It started innocuous, Ellis's jabs at LT special ops with Reyes, but escalated during a rare downtime softball game, dust field doubling as diamond. Alex pitched, Jordan caught, their rhythm seamless, but when Alex struck out Ellis with a wicked curve, the corporal's bat slammed the dirt. Fraternizing much? He muttered loud enough for the outfield to hear. Laughter died awkward. A few clapped Alex on the back, but the air soured. That night, command called Alex in. Captain Hale, face like carved granite, folder open on the desk. Rumors, Lieutenant. About you and Sergeant Reyes. Inappropriate conduct. Alex's gut plummeted, the room tilting. Sir, it's baseless. We're tight. Saved each other's skins out there. Hale's eyes bored in, weary. Don't ask is dead, but units fracture on this. Ellis filed an informal. Says he saw something post-ambush. Deny it. Alex nodded, throat dry, but inside, the kiss replayed vivid, damning. Absolutely, sir. Focus on the team. Dismissed. He found Jordan waiting in the shadows outside, tension etched deep. They hauled you. Jordan hissed. Alex pulled him into the alley's gloom. Ellis ratted. We lay low, separate bunks, no looks. Jordan's face twisted, anger, fear, longing. This is bullshit. I came out to you. Now we ghost. Alex gripped his arms, urgent. It's protection. For us, for them. Remember Amir. Secrets kept him close till they didn't. Jordan deflated, nodding, but the space between them yawned cold. Patrols turned perilous, every shadow a suspect, every local a potential ghost of Amir. One afternoon, sweeping a bazaar, Alex's squad cordoned a stall, intel on fake explosives. The vendor, an elder with rheumy eyes, pleaded in Pashto, thrusting forward a box, drawings, dozens, children's art bundled like contraband. For the hero, he insisted, pointing to one. The rainbow soldier, Amir's hand unmistakable. Alex's hands shook unfolding it. Taped inside the helmet padding? No, but slipped into the box recent. The date fresh, 2 days post-ambush. How? Alex breathed, the elder shrugging. Boy's spirit. He drew for you. Left with mother. She say, give to the one who listens. Jordan, nearby, caught the exchange, his face paling. Amir's ma? Here. The elder nodded, vanishing into the crowd. It was a thread, fragile, Amir's family, survivors, reaching out. But as they exfilled, Ellis blocked Jordan's path. Cozy with locals too, Sarge? Or just the LT? Jordan shoved past, but the seed of discord sprouted. Anonymous notes in gear. Fags don't lead. Taped where eyes would find. The breaking point hit during a night op. Insertion into a suspected Taliban nest. Choppers dropping them silent into wadis. Alex led point. Jordan rear guard. The platoon strung taut. Halfway in, Ellis tripped a wire. Claymore whispering death. Down. Alex roared, diving as pellets shredded the dark. Jordan dragged Ellis clear, the corporal gasping, leg mangled. In the melee, return fire pinned them. Alex called Artie, coordinates barked into the radio. Silence fell eventual, the nest smoking, but Ellis's eyes locked on Alex, grateful, grudging. You pull me again. What? Back at base, morphine-dazed, Ellis cornered them in the aid station. I was wrong. He slurred, voice cracking. About you too. Saw the kiss, thought it made you weak. But you saved my worthless hide. Twice. Alex froze, Jordan tensing beside him. You saw? Ellis nodded, shamefaced. Reported it stupid, pride, fear. My brother's gay, disowned him. Thought it'd toughen me. Bullshit. The confession spilled, raw. Family rifts, buried guilt. Jordan clapped his shoulder. We're all fractured, man. But unit first. Ellis nodded, tears streaking. Keep leading. Both of you. Relief washed, tentative. A truce, not trust. But it cracked the wall. Others approached quiet, stories surfacing. A cousin's partner, a buddy lost to hate. The platoon knit tighter, prejudices peeling like old paint. Alex and Jordan stole moments. A hand squeeze in the Humvee, a shared glance over maps, building toward homecoming. Then the helmet incident. Rotation's last patrol, market clear, routine handshakes with vendors. Alex hung back, helmet on the Humvee hood, chatting with a woman, Amir's mother, veiled but eyes fierce. She pressed a package into his hands. For the listener, she said, voice steady. My son's last. Alex nodded, throat tight, pocketing it. Back at base, unpacking, he lifted his helmet. Dusty, faithful. And there it was, the drawing, taped inside, the one from the blast day. Crayons bold, Rainbow Guardian. Signature, for the hero who listens. Love, eh? The paper trembled in Alex's grip, the tape's adhesive still tacky, as if placed hours ago. He sank onto his cot, the hooch empty, platoon at final briefings, packing for the bird out. Jordan found him there, duffel half-zipped, face ashen. LT, what's got you ghost white? He dropped beside him, scanning the drawing. Recognition dawned slow, then hit like aftershock. Amir. How? His mom. Alex nodded, voice fracturing. She must have tailed us today. Slipped it in while I talked. The kid. He knew Jordan. About me, about this. He gestured between them, the rainbow a blazing indictment. Jordan's arm slid around his shoulders, solid. He knew grace. That's why it shatters, 'cause he gave it free. They sat, the weight communal now, tears tracking silent down Alex's cheeks. The signature wasn't just ink. It was absolution, a child's faith in a man who'd armored his heart against the world. I buried him thinking I'd failed, Alex whispered. But he was saving me all along. Jordan pulled him close, chin on his head. We save each other. Stateside, no more hiding. Austin, San Diego, pick a coast. The flight home was a blur of turbulence and relief. C-130 droning over oceans, platoon whooping at the first sight of Texas dirt. Alex and Jordan sat knee to knee, hands brushing covert in the webbing. Ellis, leg in a brace across the aisle, raised a plastic cup of swill. To heroes, he toasted, eyes clear. Murmurs echoed. Acceptance, hard won. At Fort Hood, buses idled under floodlights. Families clustered beyond the gates. Alex scanned the crowd. Mom's tentative wave, her scarf fluttering like a white flag. Dad absent, as expected. No rainbow welcome, just the familiar ache. Jordan's ride was a beat-up Chevy, his sister waving frantic from the driver's seat. Openly queer herself, from the pride pin glinting. Call me when you land stateside proper, Jordan said at the bus door, grip lingering on Alex's elbow. We'll figure the coast. A nod, loaded. The promise of unpacked boxes, shared brunches, a life beyond LT and Sarge. Alex boarded, heart lighter, the drawing folded safe in his civvy's pocket. Reintegration slammed like a ruck march. Psych evals probing grief's edges. How's the transition? Queries masking the void. Alex crashed at Mom's in Austin suburbs. The house unchanged. Crosses on walls. Dad's recliner empty since the stroke. Over pot roast. Mom broached it gentle. Heard from your father. He's processing. About you, the service. Alex set down his fork, the rainbow's echo stirring. Processing what, Ma? I'm gay. Army. Home. She reached across, hand weathered. He loves you, Mijo. Just scared. Like I was. The call came midnight. Dad's number flashing. First in years. Voice gravel rough. Saw your discharge pics. Proud. And the rest. We talk. Alex's chest cracked open, words tumbling. Deployments. Amir, the drawing that rewrote regret. Silence stretched. Then, come fishing. Saturday. No apologies, but a door ajar. The first twist in a family knotted tight by silence. Jordan's texts lit his phone. San Diego sunsets. Job offers at private security. Miss your pitch. Alex applied to APD. Civilian badge. No more sand. But the pull westward tugged. Then the surprise. A package at Mom's door. No return address. Inside. A leather journal. Pages filled with Jordan's scrawl. Poems. Sketches copied from Amir's style. Rainbows weaving through lines about electric bodies and desert brothers. Tucked in the back. A plane ticket. Austin to SD. Note. Coast picked. Hours. Alex booked the red-eye, heart racing. At the airport, dawn gilding the hills, he boarded with the drawing in his wallet, a talisman. Turbulence bumped over mountains, but landing was smooth. Jordan at arrivals, grin splitting wide, arms open. They collided, embrace fierce, the world fading to heartbeat sync. Home, Jordan murmured into his hair. Alex pulled back, eyes shining. Yeah, finally. But twists lingered. Overfish tacos at a beach shack. Jordan's phone buzzed. Ellis, of all people. Sarge, LT got news. That village cache? Intel traced it. Amir's drawings? They were signals, kids marking safe houses for us. Saved 3 patrols. Brass wants to honor the ghost artist. Laughter bubbled, bittersweet. Kids still leading, Alex said, hand finding Jordan's under the table, public, unhurried. Months unfurled like a well-tended garden in San Diego's perpetual bloom. Jordan's apartment overlooking the bay becoming theirs, walls papered with prints of Amir's rainbows, a corner shrine to the boy who'd bridged their worlds. Alex landed the APD gig, badge heavy with purpose minus the desert's edge, patrolling neighborhoods where rainbows flew proud on porches. Nights, they walked the strand, hands laced open, The ocean's roar drowning old fears. This is the story he drew, Alex said once, waves lapping their toes. Jordan squeezed. Ours now. Family mended slow but sure. Dad's fishing trips turned weekly, rods casting lines into the Colorado, talks meandering from lures to losses. I was wrong. Dad admitted one twilight line taught. Thought the army'd straighten you. But you straightened me. Alex hugged him awkward, the dam breaking in quiet tears. Mom visited, bearing tamales and tales of pride meetings, her scarf swapped for a subtle pin. Even Ellis texted sporadically, rehab updates. Units got your backs, LT rainbows and all. The high tide of normalcy crested with a call from command, a ceremony at Hood, posthumous nod to Amir via a scholarship fund, art for war orphans, seated by Alex's testimony. They flew back together, Jordan in civvies beside him, the plaque gleaming. For the heroes who listen. Families of fallen mingled, stories swapped like heirlooms. In the crowd, a surprise. Amir's mother, visa-sponsored, eyes bright. He knew, she said, hugging Alex fierce. You carried his light. The real twist dropped post-ceremony, over beers with old squad mates. Ellis, cane tapping steady, slid an envelope across. Found this in my gear, must have missed it in the clear-out. Alex opened it. Another drawing, Amir's hand. But this one layered, soldiers entwined under the arch, a third figure small between, signed not just A, but for Alex and J, the colors that save. Taped to it, a note in adult script. Jordan's handwriting? No, Amir's Moz. He drew this last, whispered your names. Said you'd find each other because you listened. Alex's world tilted, the shatter reversing, not breaking, but building. Jordan's arm around him, platoon raising glasses, the rainbow no longer fragile but woven strong. Back in SD, they framed it central, a beacon. Love, once a battlefield secret, bloomed overt. Proposals on the pier at sunset, rings exchanged with ocean vows, a wedding small but fierce. Mom crying joyful, Dad toasting proud, Ella's best man with a speech that slayed slurs for solidarity. Years layered on, adoptions pursued, a little one with crayons and questions, stories spun of faraway heroes. Alex rose in ranks, sensitivity training's his legacy. Jordan coached youth soccer, rainbows on kits. Prejudices lingered in corners, slurs at bars, policies slow to shift, but they faced them flanked, unbreakable. The helmet, retired on a shelf, held no more ghosts, only echoes of a child's grace that shattered to reveal whole. In quiet nights, Alex would trace the signature, Jordan's head on his chest. He saved us, he'd murmur. Jordan's laugh rumbled soft. Nah, we saved each other, colors and all. And under stars indifferent as cobbles, they'd hold tight. The story theirs. Tense, twisted, triumphant. A love forged in dust, tempered by rainbows, enduring beyond the shatter.